Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. So I almost forgot Ether Raids is ending, and once again we're not going to make top 3k. Kind of expected, now that the blessing system is out, and I goofed too many times this week. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. We are losing out on 5 heroic grails and another number on a chair, but I'm probably never gonna make tier 21 at this rate, so I don't know. It's just kind of there at this point. But today we are quickly going to go through our defense results. Had some weird stuff happen this week, but let's get started before we run out of time here. Just our usual setup, nothing too great because we're facing against... Nowadays, I'm getting a lot fewer plus 10 teams, which is cool, but most teams can still just wreck my team anyways, so it doesn't even matter at this point. So this setup was really weird, but I mean, the whole objective of it was to just annoy people, basically. It wasn't really too difficult of a setup to beat. Most people could beat my setup, and unfortunately, because of like bonus stats and stuff, they're able to capitalize, and I really can't do much here, so it's just a pretty easy win for them at this point, and they can just destroy everybody with basically no punish. Of course, the ether might be a little bit of a problem, but it's not really. Like, most of the time, people don't need to get every single ether structure. I'm kind of finding nowadays to actually get the max amount of matches they can per week, so it's almost like I should just be making it easier to get the ether structures, but I mean, I don't know. That was just an epic fail, and then this person, I don't know what they were doing, but definitely strange. Like, you have this Surtur here, you know, bonus stats and stuff, and then what did they do turn 1? They bait with Micaiah, which makes no sense whatsoever, as you'll see later. So at least this kind of trapped worked, but I mean, just because they baited with Micaiah, which makes no sense, and as you will see here, Surtur literally just walls everything. Why didn't you just use him? Seriously though, like, I don't know, man. It will never make sense, will it? Like, literally no one does anywhere enough any damage to actually kill him, so it's just like, why even bother not using Surtur? I don't know. I'm working on a new defense team now because basically I've only been getting kills from people making really dumb plays. So, as you can see, we just do nothing to Surtur. Of course, the problem here is that they're not really advancing towards the ether structures. But again, it doesn't matter much because it's literally just an easy slugfest. Of course, you won't be able to pull out the ether structures without causing problems to himself because I have it in the corner, so it's slightly more difficult. So he just has to give up the ether structure, but it's not really a big deal. Not really. If you miss an ether structure once in a while, it really doesn't matter. This person is just going all out on score, so, I mean, going all out with the blessing spam. And it's Surtur, so you can literally just do whatever the heck you want, because my team does not counter Surtur in any way whatsoever. And so they're just getting set up here. And it's like, what the heck am I supposed to do? Not much. So they're just gonna use Smite here. I mean, and take out, it doesn't even matter if he took out Azura, because like everyone can't do anything. Like everyone is just like, nope, nope, nope. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm looking at some red units I can try and use to actually make people who use Surtur have to do a little bit more, but honestly, like, it's not really gonna make much of a difference. And at this point, it's just an easy win because no distant counter is useful in Surtur because that means he can just stall out range units. So it's a pretty easy win for them at this point. Of course, most of the matches, people are using most of the turns, which is kind of the idea. But, I mean, it's not good enough. I need to figure out a way to burn even more turns out of people. And this team is just kind of same idea. I mean, it's pretty repetitive at this point. Like, what the heck am I supposed to do? I can only really just do some really small gimmicks. There's not much I can do. So, it's a pretty easy win from here. There's a Panic Manor, which will... Titania's just gonna absorb this. And of course with the dance, like, Veronica gets some damage in, but it really doesn't matter. And here, not Brave Lucina, Legendary Lucina can't double, so there's no way we can pick up the kill there. And the extra 4 bonus stats here didn't actually matter because Legendary Lucina wasn't fast enough, so I mean here it's just gonna be a loss. I mean, not much I can do here. Like, we can throw a bonfire and almost kill Titania. So there, the bonus stats would have gotten me a kill if I had a catapult up, but this is like literally a meaningless match because I've already lost for the day, and so it's like, and this is probably one of the only scenarios where it actually mattered, so I'm just like, oh, whatever at this point. So now here they're just going for the ether structure, and then it's an easy win from there. Pretty simple. Most of the time the bonus stats literally don't even matter, like if they have them or not. Ideally, it's at some point I'd be able to like level creep them, but it's like, you know, most of the time most people don't have. I'm facing fewer plus 10 teams, which is nice. It gives me a fighting chance, Kappa. But now here Veronica's just going to get murdered because, well, she can't double, and Panic Boys, so it's just a free kill. Not much I can do there. And they just have Surtur coming up very slowly but surely. And here Lucine's just going to die. I mean, that's pretty standard. And Effie's just gonna walk out into Surtur's Menace. Effie hasn't really been doing much for me. Like, occasionally she'll like give people a slightly harder time because they have to deal with Panic Ploy in one column, but it's literally one column, and half the time it's Surtur, so he doesn't get Panic Ployed. So I don't know. I mean, at this point, Nino's going after Surtur instead of Myrrh because AI manipulation, so it's a pretty easy win from here because Nino can't kill Myrrh, so it's just an easy pickup. But again, they almost use all their turns again, which is pretty much all my team does, makes people burn turns, but I mean, that's not really good enough to do anything, so here they have another decent setup. I mean, like this phase +6, looking not bad. And of course, the 62 res Florina because +9 and Hinoka's Spear. So, you know, pretty solid team. They have Tactics Room on the far right, which means they just get an easy win here. Because Legendary Lucina can't do anything, and we're just going to... At least reposition does something, but it really doesn't do anything. So, I mean, not much I can do. Here, Veronica's just going to attack into Faye for 0. And then Nino's just going to die to Faye. I mean, not much I can do. Of course, I'm burning turns because they're back here and not going after the ether. So that's something, but it's really nothing. At this point, it's just like, can't really do anything. they can get the ether structure super easily, so it's like, I don't know. It's an easy win for them. And here they activate that trap, which doesn't really matter, but again, burning turns by them being in the back beat. That's literally all I can do. There's not much I can do. So it's a pretty easy win for them again. And this person, another decent team. I mean, like, they're going ham on the light blessings, because that's how you ether raids nowadays. And pretty much nothing too special here. Just another standard team, and I have another week to work out on how to build a team to at least make it more of a challenge for people, because if people have Sitter, they can just literally move him and win. That's pretty much it. It's like my team does 0 to him. Like, yay, Nino did 3 damage and Veronica did 1. Definitely meaningful, Kappa. I mean, you know, it's just not gonna fare well. And of course, Surtur's Menace and Samara let's just stall in the meantime while you can pick up literally all the ether structures, because no one can get through them. Like, there's no pass or any of those funny shenanigans. Because I don't have any lance calves, or any calves, melee calves in general, that would be actually threatening, so feels bad, man. But from here, it's a pretty easy win. They just have to kill Veronica, but again, they burn a decent amount of turns, but this is pretty much the average. Most people can clear my map in like 5 to 6 turns. Then there's this one person at the end of the day. I didn't show, but because time's running out. So, yeah, I don't know if they damage calced or something, but they didn't, and so Nino just got a free kill, and then the heal's not relevant, and then they do this, which is like, what? I don't know, man. They pick up another free kill because we can. Like, this is just really terrible play. I don't know what they were doing. And then they're like, okay, you pick up a kill, that's good. And then they attack Nino, you know, okay, whatever. And then they assume that trap's not real or for some reason. And they get another kill. It's just like, what? And then from here, I can't really do much, because Veronica's going to double here after the panic deployed Wind Firebomb Plus, and it's a pretty obvious loss from here. But of course, I burned their turns, and there's tactics room, so they just have to pick up the kill. Then there's this guy. I don't entirely know what this was about either. Like, pretty standard team. So, you know, just your usual stuff. I'm just gonna rush through this because it's pretty obvious what's gonna happen. So everything's looking alright, like they're picking up the kills, and then they do this. Like, what? Do you damage calc, folks? Like, hello? I don't know, man. So many unnecessary deaths, like Legend of Lucina couldn't even kill Ryan because that's pretty standard. And again, I burned turns, but not quite enough because Wings of Mercy is active. And then we get into this team, pretty standard again. It's a starter, plus 10 this time, so he's basically indestructible, and you know, pretty standard stuff with blessings and shenanigans. So it's a pretty easy loss again. So they just take out Azura. It doesn't even matter if they take out Azura because no one can do any damage, so it's just a pretty easy win. This is usually what ends up happening with the setup, which is why I'm trying out a new setup, because the setup is definitely not working. But I mean, then someone comes to rematch and well steamrolls with 4 units because they can, because you just need Surtur. That's literally the solution to my map. You bring Surtur. I don't really have any competent armor smasher units, because they need to be able to one-shot Surtur because most people are running Wary Fighter. So it's like they're just prepping their setup here, nothing too special. And so they can't kill Nino because Nino is memeing with minus defense and stuff. So we can pick up a kill here on Levitan. I'm not entirely sure what they were expecting. But reposition trolling again. But it's not really going to do anything because the guy has armor boots. And then it's another free win. But again, I burned their turn, so they had to give up the ether, which is not much of a big deal. Then we go into this horse emblem team. Pretty standard stuff. Like, I don't know about you. My team can't counter anything unless people literally make terrible plays. And as we'll see here, Effie really doesn't do much because she just gets two-shot by Ryan. Feels bad, man. Like, bonus stats are kind of to blame, and I'm not running Bert's Lance or anything, but Future Vision's not going to do anything there except give him a free kill, and here's like what... Okay. So we're able to pick up the kill on Ryan with Dance, which is cool, but doesn't really mean anything because, same deal. Then the last 3 minutes we blitz through these matches and we're gonna be done. Pretty standard team again, at least these teams aren't merged, so... But they have the stat bonus from the catapult and fort, so it's like basically they have plus 10 units anyways, but when you have a plus 10 unit and you have the extra plus 4 to all stats, it like basically doesn't matter, and this is just solid play. Not much I can do here. And then they're trying to go for the ether, and so they run to my bolt trap, so they just have to give up the ether, but it's not much of a big deal. And then we go to the last team, Berkut's Lance Effie, plus 10. That's probably what I'm going to do in the distant future. I'm not entirely sure yet, and I don't understand that play either, but we don't question those plays. Pretty same deal. They're just going to use Smite. You can see a lot of people are using Smite with Surtur, and it makes it really easy for them. So it's pretty much death on first sight, and there's not much we can do because you can just keep stalling with Surtur. So it's an easy win, but of course, I run it down to the wire in terms of turns again, but that's basically what my team does. This is gonna change, but I'm working on another team, not using Effie, trying out Crom, but he's really not gonna do much against Surtur, even if he has Sealed Falchion, Brazen Attack, Res, and Drive Attack, and maybe like Cleave Scowl for Aurors, or I don't know how to pronounce that, but those buffs up, I mean, he's not going to do much. AKA not enough to kill, which is basically what I need, so... Until then, thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!